So I read that and I say that, and you say, well, what does that mean? What that means is that we as men need to begin to prioritize our mental health. I shared with you all that um, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with talking to someone every now and then. You may need a counselor. You may need somebody to talk to in that regard. Um, and if such is the case, there's nothing wrong with that because every now and then we all need some help. Every now and then we all need somebody who we can talk to. But I think that one of the things that plagues our generation, one of the things that plagues men, period, is that we feel as though we're strong. We've got to handle everything. But I've learned in my life that you need somebody who you can talk to. I thank God that I've got brothers and friends who I can talk to. I thank God that I've got, the Most High who I can talk to. But there have been times where I considered even, getting counseling, therapy, just so I can get a professional opinion and have a professional to talk to because I'm telling you that we all need that from time to time, right? From time to time, we all need somebody who we can talk to who gets what's going on with us, somebody who can give us some good tools to help cope with whatever is going on in our lives. And oftentimes, the problem that we run into is that we don't have the proper tools to cope with everything that's going on in our lives. So, since we don't have the proper tools, what ends up happening is what ends up happening is that we just say we're gonna live with it. We'll deal with it. We try to wait till it or passes, and then once that happens, then what we find ourselves in the position of is that these things have now gotten worse and worse for us. Right? They've gotten so bad to where it's like, man, how do we handle? I've shared before, as men, we uh, we put so much on our shoulders, right? We take everybody's weight, everybody's pain, everybody's issues, and we put them all on our shoulders, and we don't say nothing about it. We just live with it, right? I'm going to read this for you, and I just kind of want to share with you because we're talking about men's mental health all this month during our Man to Man segment because, not only is our physical health important, but our mental well being is just as important. If, I mean, our physical health is the most important, but our mental health is like right as important. Um, and I think it's something that we need to deal with. So I want to read this for you. And this comes from www www.nih.gov. All right, and so um, this is just some good mental health information that I want to share with you all. It says this: while mental illness affect both men and women, the prevalence of mental health illness in men is often lower than women. Men with mental illness are also likely to have received mental health treatment, right? I'm sorry, let me read that. Men with mental illness are also less likely to have received mental health treatment than women in the past year. However, men are more likely to die by suicide than women, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Recognizing the signs that you or someone you love may have a mental disorder is the first step toward getting treatment. The earlier treatment begins, the more effective it can be. All right, I'm going to list some of the warning signs. All right, men and women can develop most of the same mental disorders and conditions, but may experience different symptoms. Some symptoms include anger, irritability, aggressiveness, noticeable changes in mood, energy level, or appetite, difficulty sleeping or sleeping too much, difficulty concentrating, feelis- feeling restless or on edge, increased worry or feeling stressed, misuse of alcohol and or drugs, sadness or hopelessness, suicidal thoughts, feeling flat or having trouble feeling positive emotions, engaging in high risk activities, aches, headaches, digestive problems without a clear cause, obsessive thinking or compulsive behavior, thoughts or behaviors that interfere with work, family, or social life, unusual thinking or behaviors that concern other people. Now, it's important to note that mental disorders can be treated. If you are unsure where to go for help, ask your family doctor or visit NIMH website for mental illness. All right, visit their website for mental illness for more help. All right, and again, I gave you that website. It's www dot nimh dot nih.gov. All right, so you can go there and they'll give you some information on where you can go to get some help and all of that. Communicating, right? Communicating, that's a big part of helping with mental health because oftentimes your family may not miss or may not know how to talk to you about it. And I know if you have a mental health issue, that you say, hey, you may say, hey, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. But letting somebody know what's going on with you is a big step. So I want to encourage you to communicate, to talk, right? So it says communicating well with your healthcare provider can improve your care and help you both make good choices about your health. All right. So it's even important that you read about tips to help prepare and get the most out of your visit. All right. So that means do some research. Look at what questions you ought to ask. If you have this feeling of feeling blue or down or whatever, too many days, think about talking to somebody, seeing about getting some help. Call your family doctor and tell your family doctor, this is where I am. This is what I'm going through. I just need some help. Can you refer me to somebody? And they will take care of you, right? It's their responsibility, their job. Um, yeah, so if you need any additional resources, including questions to ask your healthcare provider, you can go to the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality and their website. I'll give you their website. It's www.ahrq.gov. Let me give you that one more time. www.ahrq.gov. All right, and they will be able to help you there and give you some of the information that you need. Now, let me just say this too: if you or someone you know is in crisis, meaning they are experiencing a mental health crisis, get help immediately. Now, with the recent events of what happened to young Miss Brianna, I don't remember her last name, but Miss Brianna, who was having a mental health episode, her parents called 911, and they sent out the sheriff's department and all that, and she ended up losing her life a few days later because of how she was mistreated. I know many people are skeptical about calling 911 if you're having a mental health crisis or a mental health episode, but I still would encourage you to try that. I mean, and that's one of the best ways. I mean, even if you just say don't send the police, send the need an ambulance, send an ambulance as opposed to the police. That's also an option. Um, and they can take them to, where they need to go to get some help. Or you could always call or text 988, right? That's the suicide and crisis line, all right? So suicide and crisis line. Again, all you have to do is call 988, or you can text 988. That's the number you text, 988, and then you put in whatever message you need to put, and they can respond to that. Again, that number is 988, and they've made it very simple. All you have to do is pick up a phone, dial 988 if you're having suicide issues, thoughts, um, or just a mental health crisis. 988. It's very simple. Now, when I used to work at the suicide prevention helpline um, up in North Louisiana, people used to have to dial a longer number. The number back then, and it's still an active number, is 1 800 273 8255. Again, that's 1 800 273 8255. Right? That's the number for the National Suicide Prevention Helpline. Or you can just simply dial 988, because that suicide prevention number, I know it's a bit long. You may not remember it, but maybe you'll remember 988. Okay? All right. So I definitely want to encourage you with that. I definitely want to encourage you. The 988. That's the new thing. You can dial that. You can text that. So if you dial it, that you'll reach somebody. If you text it, it'll reach somebody, and they'll be able to help you. They'll be able to help you. Excuse me. So I want to encourage you to check that out. Um, and let me just add this in, just in case, if you or somebody um, not only has suicidal thoughts or whatever, but they are also having, um, an issue with gambling or, any of those types of issues, they can always call 1-877-532-5797. Nope, nope, that's wrong. That's the wrong number. I think that's Al Sharpton's number. Yeah, that's Al Sharpton's number. The number you need is 1-877-770-7867. All right, so that's 1-877-770-7867. That is the gambling prevention hotline. 1-877-770-7867. All right, or 1-877-770-STOP is how you can remember that. Yeah, that's if you're having a gambling issue or whatever the case may be. Getting that number, if you're having suicidal thoughts, any of that, you need to talk to someone. 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or you can just simply call 988 or text 988, and you can have, you can go from there. All right, I definitely want to encourage you to use that, take advantage of that. Mental health is so very serious, and we as men need to begin to take our mental health very serious, because our mental health needs to be top and priority. We bear everybody's burdens as men. We bear really, me being the only boy in my family, my sisters, both younger and older, they come to me, or well, not they come to me. That's not the right way to put that, because they don't mind talking to me, and I'm okay with that. I can handle that, right? My mom, she talks with me. I people feel comfortable and okay talking with me, whether that's because of ministry, whether it's because I'm the only boy, or maybe it's because of, maybe they feel, I don't know, whatever it is, I'm okay with it. But every now and then, I still have to go and unload and release. And right now, like I said, I thank God for friends who I'm able to talk with, and we're able to walk through issues together. I thank God that I'm able to talk to the Father and He's able to help me. But I also thank God that there are counselors, therapists, those who are available to help me deal with my other issues, or with my issues. who I can just say, hey, listen, I had this happen to me when I was a kid. It affected me this way. There are so many things that I've learned over the last few years, just as I become more, as they say, self-aware, that has helped me to really understand and to know, okay, my mental health is a real thing, trauma is a real thing, and I have to be able to deal with and process and handle my trauma appropriately. And the best way to do that, because unresolved trauma, all right, there we go. Unresolved trauma, unresolved trauma always shows up later on, and not always in the way that that you would want it to show up. You know, it can cause problems in your relationship with your wife, in the way you raise your children, because oftentimes the traumas that we experience, we often repeat upon others because what is our norm, whether it be some sort of trauma that was normal to us, we may think that it's normal, and so we then perpetuate that upon the next generation, upon our wives, upon those close to us, and it's not. It's not normal. It's not okay. But we only know this and are able to handle it better when we get some help for ourselves. So, again, make sure that you get some help. Talk with your uh, healthcare provider. Let them know where you are. Let them know you need somebody to talk to, whatever, and they will help you with that. They can refer you to somebody. Um, let them know, just what you're going through. If you want to keep it off your insurance or something, I don't know, call that number 988. Text that number 988. All right, it all helps. It all helps. And again, I can't, say go without saying it again. If you have a gambling addiction, because we do live in an area where there are casinos and all that, then you can always call 1-877-770-7867. 1-877-770-7867. There's another number, but I don't remember that number anymore. But that one has always stuck with me ever since I used to work at Louisiana Association on Compulsive Gambling. All right, so there you have it. Friends, it is about that time for me to go ahead and get out of here. And one thing that I have not done in a while now is that I have not done all the news that you absolutely can use. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So as we begin to look at all the news you absolutely can use, your high for today is 95. Your low for today is 77. Going to be a partly cloudy day. You've got a 10% chance of rain on the day. Right now, it's 88 degrees outside. It's mostly cloudy. Your wind is blowing west-northwest at about 10 miles per hour. Although it's 88, it feels more like 98. Your temperature for tomorrow, your high for tomorrow is 90. Your low for tomorrow is 73. And you've got a 60% chance for some scattered thunderstorms on tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Then on Friday, you've got 85 as your high, 74 as your low, and a 60% chance for some scattered thunderstorms on Friday. So we've got a wet couple of days, possible wet couple of days coming up. So just definitely govern yourselves accordingly as we look at the National Hurricane Center website, and we check and see what's going on. There is a tropical disturbance, is all it is. It's a tropical disturbance or it's a tropical wave rather, that is over Honduras and the northwestern Caribbean Sea. Um, it is forecast to move across Central America during the next couple of days and emerge over the Bay of Campeche, um, where an area of low pressure could form on Friday. Some gradual development of this pressure, some gradual development of this system is possible while it moves northwestern over the northwestern Gulf of Mexico through the weekend. I'll keep you posted, all right? But that's what we've got going on right now. There's no storms, nothing in the Atlantic or in the Gulf. There's just that tropical wave that, like I said, right now is over there what's that area I said? Over Honduras and the northwestern Caribbean Sea. So, uh, yeah, yeah, definitely want to encourage you to keep an eye out. I'll let you know if there's any development in this that we need to be worried about. But it looks like it'll just go over Central America, maybe hit a little bit of Texas, and then go, northward from there. We'll see what happens. But it doesn't look as though it's gonna, grow into a hurricane or a tropical storm, anything like that. So, there you have it. There you have it. I'll continue to keep you all updated. Listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in to 93.5 KPPM. Know that I greatly appreciate you. I thank God for you. Know that I am praying for you. So I want you to pray for somebody else, because I know that as we